In this video, we're going to look at where we get the ordered pairs for 30 degrees. So what is the ordered pair here on the unit circle, as well as the 60 degrees. And these kind of go together, so we're going to do it all together in one triangle. There's another video that explains 45 degrees here, so look for that. And there's also a separate video that explains how to fill in the entire unit circle. So 3 separate videos to explain all of the unit circle to you. This right here, let's do the 60 degrees. So if I drop a height here, notice I create a right triangle. Again, we're looking at 60 degrees. And so what I'm trying to figure out is what is the x value for this ordered pair. The x value would be this distance here on the bottom. And then what is the y value, which would be the height of this right triangle. We know that the hypotenuse is equal to 1 because the radius of the unit circle is equal to 1. So I'm going to go to a different screen so we can draw this triangle and not be in this unit circle. It makes it a little bit easier to see. So again, we had 60 degrees here, this angle. It's not exactly drawn to scale. We have our right angle here. We know the hypotenuse is equal to 1. So we know because we have a triangle, all 3 angles, the sum of all 3 angles adds up to 180. So that leaves us with 30 degrees for that missing angle. If you remember the relationships for a 30, 60, 90 triangle, then you can go straight to figuring out what these two sides are equal to. But if you don't remember those relationships, that's what I'm going to show you. It is helpful, I believe, to create an equilateral triangle. An identical triangle that's over here on the right side. So notice it's the same triangle, it's just on the right side. And so looking now at this larger outside triangle here, we have an equilateral triangle. So if this was 60 degrees, this angle over here is going to be 60. And notice this height splits this top angle in half, and so this also is 30 degrees, which makes this entire large angle be 60 degrees. So we have a 60, 60, 60. All 3 angles are 60. So that's equiangular. All the angles are equal, which tells us that all the sides are equal. So if this side of the triangle is equal to 1, we know this side is also equal to 1, and this entire bottom half of this triangle is equal to 1. Again, we're looking for this height and this bottom part of the smaller triangle here. So if this whole entire thing is equal to 1, and where we doubled the triangle, from here to here, the bottom half of the triangle that we're looking for is half of this. So half of 1 is 1/2. And so we found part of our triangle. What we need to find now is this last missing side. Again, we're ultimately just looking at the smaller triangle. We're just using the bigger triangle to help us figure out this value. So I need to know, what is this value here? What is this height? Again, you can use Pythagorean theorem anytime you're looking for a missing side of a right triangle. So that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A leg squared plus a leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So one of our legs is 1/2. So I have 1/2 squared. This leg is what we're trying to find. I don't know what it is, so I called it x. So 1/2 squared plus x squared equals the hypotenuse squared, and we know the hypotenuse is equal to 1 because that was the radius of the unit circle. So equals 1 squared. Now we just need to solve this for x. So 1/2 squared is going to be 1/4 plus x squared is equal to 1. If I solve this equation for x, I need to subtract 1/4 from both sides. That leaves me with x squared is equal to 3/4. 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4. And now take the square root of both sides. The square root of 3 cannot be simplified, so we're going to leave it as square root of 3, but the square root of 4 is 2. And so we have right here the square root of 3 over 2 is the height of this triangle. So let's go back, or let me draw it over here, just this one triangle here. We've got our 60 degrees. Hypotenuse was 1. This height is square root of 3 over 2. This distance, the x value, is 1/2. Again, this is for 60 degrees. So here's our triangle. This bottom part was 1/2. That is the x value of this ordered pair. That's how much we go to the right from 0, so it would be 1/2. The y value, the height, was square root of 3 over 2. Here's the good news. The 30 degrees is just the exact opposite of this. So if you look at this triangle, the two values just switch places. So the 30 degrees would be up here, and so the 1/2 and the square root of 3/2 are going to be in opposite locations. So the x value for 30 degrees is square root of 3/2. The y value for 30 degrees is 1/2. And that's how you derive those ordered pairs for 30 degrees and 60 degrees on the unit circle. Again, there's a separate video for 45 degrees, and then there's a third video for just filling in all of the values on the unit circle.